Okay, it says you are live. Don't you love technology? I love when this little thing pops up. Hi, everybody. Rick Tamlin here. This little thing pops up. You are live. And I always wanted to say you are alive. But while I'm live over here on Facebook, I'm going to now jump over to the Instagram page and I got to go live there to pump to that page as well. So there we go. So now I'm live officially in both places if all is going well. So hello everybody. Happy Wednesday, July 17th. It is approximately 11:31 Pacific. No, oh my God, where am I? I'm on the East Coast. Eastern Daylight Time. Not that that matters in the world of putting work into the world. Who cares what time it is and where I am? So universe doesn't care about that too much. I think the universe cares about is our energy and our belief and our philosophy and all that stuff, which I'm going to get to in a minute. Um, I would be remiss as a person of I do leadership development, I do life development, I do consciousness development. I became a doctor. I'm pointing to the wrong thing. There's it over. I became a doctor recently in what is called advanced consciousness from the Ralph Waldo Emerson Institute after studying 2 years, actually many years, in the land of metaphysics and quantum physics. And why am I telling you all of that? I would be remiss if I just stepped over, it's Wednesday, July 17th, what happened in the United States over the weekend, right? We all know about the attempt of assassination on the person, Donald Trump, who's running for president. And this is not a political commentary. This, however, is a moment of naming it. And of course, violence is not optional, never is an option to be in reaction to some other human being's viewpoint or philosophy. So we all agree with that, right? That is not an option. So I am sending to all, you're listening, the highest level of consciousness and love and outcomes that are serving, right? That's the meta view perspective, right? And of course we have different political viewpoints we get to. That's our system, that's our world. And I feel very blessed and honored that I live in a world that gets to have that. And I also hold, because it's being talked about a lot, to lower the animosity and to lower the reactionary energy and to lower the sort of this energy of like, I need you to be gone so I can have something, right? We would all agree to that. So this might be simplistic to say it this way, but the antidote to all that adversity and anger and all that stuff is authentic curiosity. Most of you know that. Authentic curiosity with my neighbor, my person who has a different political viewpoint, whatever that is, right? Is to be wildly curious. And authentically curious, and I don't have to agree with them, but I do know that on some level, we all, for those that are in this consciousness and in this space of highest good, if you will, would align that the highest outcome is unfolding all the time, right? Whether I like all the details of it at any given moment, that's my ego mind getting involved. But if I can go to the bigger, wider meta view, philosophical, spiritual perspective, it is unfolding for our highest goods, right? So some people have said to me, and I'll be somewhat transparent about this, that's sort of like just positivity. And yeah, I'm not even using the word positivity, but I am holding the highest outcome, right? And I have to be open at the top to let it unfold and to not be too controlling and not to get too tight and not to get too reactionary, right? So, excuse me. So wanted to start that today in the midst of what's happening in our world. And also know there's so much pain and there's so much suffering in people's hearts, and there's a lot of compassion that is needed to be given to each other, and curiosity and compassion and openness. And so just wanted to start there today. My sense is if you're a follower of mine in any way, shape, or form, this is not new news, but it certainly needs attention and it needs intention, right? So, so that's the opening thing I wanted to talk about today. So now related to our work in the world, some of you know I wrote a book called Play Your Bigger Game. There it is. It goes with me everywhere I go. I'm proud of it. Co-created with a fabulous colleague of mine, Laura Whitworth, many years ago. But I wanted to talk today about your work in the world, your message in the world, what's your, there's the life purpose language, but I also want to go to more specific. What we are always creating something, right? We're always creating something. So to be more intentional with what is it I want to create with my business life, my personal life, my work life, my body life, right? And the two things that I've been reading a lot about lately, so I'm going to also do another plug for a fabulous book that I love. A Happy Pocket Full of Money, Infinite Wealth and Abundance in the Here and Now. What I love about this book, it's metaphysical, it's spiritual, it's practical, it's pragmatic, it's sort of left brain, right brain. It's this brain, it's the heart brain, and it's the gut brain. It's got it all, right? And it's beautifully written in a way that gets sort of under your skin, gets into your consciousness. But one of the things that one of the chapters that I'm starting to just read this morning is this chapter called Certainty. Literally chapter 9. I know you can't see this, it's too bright. Let me bring it down here. Certainty, the most powerful force and the antidote to failure, is certainty. So I wanted to just briefly touch on certainty and consistency today, right? And this is mindset stuff, mostly mindset stuff. The consistency part, I would dare say, is the doing part, but the certainty part is the being part. So always a fan of being and doing. By the way, if you're on Facebook, you can write it, you can put a comment in here. More than happy to interact if you have a question or you throw a comment in there, or just say hello as well. If you're on Instagram, my fabulous colleague with putting this good work into the world, Jocelyn Flowers, is there on Instagram, and she'll drop it into the chat inside StreamYard. It's the technology I'm using. So if you want to throw something in there, feel free to do it. Okay. Many of you will watch this later. That's the other thing that happens today in our world, right? Hello, Christine. Hello. There we are. There you go. Great. It's fun to sort of see who's there. So certainty is the being side, right? And it's all about the core belief. Do I believe that this work will work? Do I believe that this will do its thing, right? It's because behind the doing is always the believing. And certainty is an energy. It is a vibration. It is a, dare I say, a declaration to one's inner life that, this is my truth. This is how I know it works. This is, I'm just reading some chat moment here. Apologies, got a little distracted. This is the inner core, and there's no right one. I am not proselytizing. It's that core, this is the deal, and to not waver from it, and to not throw a ring of doubt around it, because this concept of like we believe something, we put it into the world, and then we, about 20 minutes later we go, we doubt it. We actually imagine we're throwing a, imagine you're doing a Facebook Live like this or some sort of live, and you put it into the universe, right? Here I am, and I'm using this marker as like the metaphor, like I'm putting this into the space, right? And then 20 minutes later, thank you, Brene Brown. I'll have a vulnerability hangover. Oh my God, what has happened? Does anybody like this? I've just thrown sort of, imagine I throw this thing into the world, and then On the back end, I throw out later, even though I'm not online literally saying it, but energetically, and in my head, I'm going, I don't know, did that work? And was that good? And was I good enough? And all that inner life comes out. And I know we all have it, right? And yet, if we come back to, we do it, we let it go, and we shut down the vote afterwards. We just go with certainty. This is what I believe. This is my service I provide. This is how I know it works best. Let me offer my philosophy to you. Right, the Coaches Training Institute. I studied with them for many years. Trainer for them inside their world for many years. Life coaching school. Honored to be a part of that world. We had certainty about our 4 workshops. The philosophy of each of those workshops, we had certainty that actually the philosophical viewpoints of each of those workshops, we believed in them deeply, right? Values equals, honoring your values equals fulfilling life, right? What the perspective you're in about your life creates your life. Emotional fluidity opens up creativity. Those are the 3 core philosophical underpinnings of the Coaches Training Institute, which I bought into and went, that's true, right? And then the workshop is the experiential version of those core beliefs, but it started with core beliefs. So that's the certainty part. And I want to give a really great example of this that's personal. My partner my husband of 31 years now, we've been married, I think 20. Anyway, been together 31 years. His dear sweet mom, Edith is her name. And she's no longer with us on this earth plane, but she's certainly with us in the family system. We talk about her. She's honored a lot. She's talked about a lot. Here I am talking about her. She had a really, really beautiful, strong faith in the Catholic tradition, like just solid as a rock. Like went to mass almost every week of her life, right? Really solid. Like the certainty of that belief never wavered. She gave her money to that church. She believed in it, right? And what didn't matter whether I aligned with that philosophy or not, or that tradition or not. What I was so impressed with is her belief. Now, she recently passed away about 9 months ago now. But here's the beautiful part. So her sort of the back end of her doorway into the end, right? You can kind of feel that coming. It's a couple weeks out. You'd never know exactly. But the peace and the ease, not a lot of anxiety, not a lot of fret, not a lot of regret, not a lot, like she even kept saying, I know where I'm going. And I was so like moved by the certainty, whether I believe in the philosophy or not, but I was moved and taken by, and this going to sound odd, her leadership of herself and to her family. So I'm a family member. I would be in the room. That's leadership. She was very clear, and she kept reminding us where she was going, and this was going to be fine, and I'm going to meet your dad. And it was such a profound level of certainty. And when she passed beautifully with people around her, it was a beautiful, beautiful honoring of the end of her life. 96, right? 94. Oh my God, I should know that number. Mid 90s. So I hope that makes sense, right? It was just a clean, like there was not an ounce of doubt. She had doubts about other things about life. She had some anxiety about other things, but the certainty of her core belief about how life worked from a spiritual context. And I'm always impressed by people who operate from that, right? So one other example of certainty, and then I'm going to blend it with consistency, right? And yeah, let me just connect the dot with consistency. Consistency with Edith, going to mass every weekend, right? That's the consistency of honoring the certainty. She just didn't go once and it was a done deal, right? That's the model of like consistency of showing up with it, right? Consistently going, hearing the message, voting every week about the sermon, or I guess they call it in the Catholic tradition, it's a homily. I don't know. I forget what it's called. Some of you will know. not raised a Catholic. But voting on the topic today, and that's the different priests, that priest is better at the talk, and you get all that. And yet the consistency and the belief and the honoring that came with the territory of the core belief. So you kind of get it. It's not complicated, right? These are choiceful for her, right? Homily. Thank you, Christine. I know you'd have a homily. Perfect. I come from the Protestant world in terms of the Christian tradition, and that's a sermon. So it's not complicated, right? Now, this takes practice. Consistency is a practice, right? But I'm going to say, and the consistency of honoring the philosophy and honoring the core belief. So, okay, wanted to give another example of this concept of oh my God, I'm having a brain fart moment. Can I just say, what's the first word again? Oh my God, oh my God, somebody's going to put it in the chat. Consistency and I know what it was. It's in this book. Oh my God, I'm just having a certainty. I know it was the second word, certainty. Oh my God, I get on a roll and then I go, okay, what's the word again? So certainty. So here's the other thing about certainty, right? And again, it's about core belief. So I work out every day. I'm going to give the example of working out every day. Certainty and then consistency. Certainty. I know that if I work out every single day and I jog and I do my workouts every single day, I have certainty that it's going to impact my body in a positive way. I just do. That's the core belief. And then, of course, the evidence proves it, and then the science proves it, and everything backs that up, right? And then the consistency of it, right? So that takes both certainty and commitment, and it's in my calendar. It is a non-negotiable. My workouts every day are a non-negotiable. Self-care, by the way, sidebar moment. Self-care, oh my gosh, becomes the negotiable thing. Oh, well, I'll get to that later, and then it doesn't happen, and then oh my gosh, can we please have a moment of self-care, taking care of this body, taking care of this mind, taking care of this heart, taking care of this. Can we please do that? Because without any of this, none of this happens, right? So the certainty that I know that self-care is going to actually serve me, and then the consistency of doing that daily. So, and I'm a fan of, by the way, I am self-caring in 3 arenas: mind, body, spirit. Mind, body, spirit, right? What is my mind self-care? Well, one of mine is to read books every morning. Not really a big meditator. I read, right? Some of you meditate. That's your daily practice, right? That's sort of the mind part for me. Body is the workout. I need to work out every single day. I need to get my heart rate up every day. And I want to give you another reason. I think I've done this on this call, but I'm going to do it again. One of the reasons why I do that is the chemistry that it changes in my mind. It actually activates creativity for days. When I go sprinting and jogging, I get so many creative ideas for my next workshop, my next book, my next pop-up call, my next something or other, because of the endorphins and the chemicals that are released, right? So sitting at my computer most of the time doesn't get me the creativity that I need. So I go work out, I have my phone, I capture it all on my phone, then I go to the computer, then I write the timeline, then I write the chapter in the book, right? That comes from the consistency of the workout. That's a very important part of my business life. And people are like, how is working out a part of my business life? It is an imperative in my business life to work out every day. Okay, so that's the talk today, right? Certainty. What's your level of certainty? And I want to pull that apart from righteousness. Like we get all righteous about everything, but the inner life of certainty that I know this will work. I have certainty for my clients. I have certainty for my life. I have certainty that things are going to work out for their highest good. The challenge is the left brain, will give me the evidence of that. Give me the evidence. That doesn't work that way. You actually have to be in a space of certainty, and then the evidence will occur, right? The outer life will mirror the inner life. You all know that. So certainty is a choice. This is what I love about this book. He goes, certainty is a choice, right? So I have to do a 75-year workshop to figure this out, right? So what are my core beliefs? This book, by the way, core beliefs put into a model, right? Very simple. Here's its simple model. We decided here are the 9 elements of what it means to play a bigger game. We had certainty about them. We had core beliefs about them. We dared to put them into the world. They became a very successful workshop. They got into corporations. Then 12 people told other 12 other people. And then all of a sudden I was around the globe in front of on stages in front of thousands of people talking about the bigger game. I had no idea it was going to do that. But we started with a certainty of what do we believe about the human condition? What do we believe about how it works? And we decided to be certain about it. And then we got proud and talked about it a lot. And then we were consistent with the messaging. We didn't start to deviate from the messaging. We didn't start to deviate from the design. We were consistent with the messaging, right? So certainty and consistency. Feel free in the Facebook group, talk about this. What I invite you to do from this simple conversation, not really a conversation, more like a sermon, is to go off and think about what is it I need to be more certain about in my life, relationally, business-wise, money-wise. I worked with one of our year-long clients this morning in a program called Produce You, and we had to work on the certainty. We didn't have to work on the strategy. There's always the strategy. By the way, the brain always goes to, I need a better strategy. And I go, actually, you have the strategy. What's missing is the certainty of the delivery and of the belief mechanism behind the strategy. Because a strategy without certainty does not happen, So there you go. Certainty, consistency, consider it. Where do you need to become more consistent with your life, your business life, your personal life, your whatever it is, right? It's the consistency and certainty. I just invite you to be in those two words a lot today and go, what does that mean? So with that said, I do want to make an offer to one of my events. Some of you know, you're welcome, Christine. Thanks for being here. Jocelyn's gonna put into the chat in terms of your certainty. And some of you know, the metaphor I say, what's your bigger game? What are you putting into the world? We have an event that I've done now for the last 7 years. It's going to be a virtual event. It's called Produce You, the event. Jocelyn's going to put into the chat how to register. It's a 2-day upcoming event in the fall, virtual. We do it from my home, video cameras, we dance, we sing, I do all this kind of fun stuff. A lot of fun inside of it. And yet it has this agenda called helping you, the thought leader, helping you, the wisdom guide, helping you, the life coach, helping you, the whatever role you've got in your head to be seen and be heard and be out in the world more. And there's 4 components, by the way, to your successful thought leader business. If you're in that space, right? There's 4 components to it. There's writing. So some of you need to write more, maybe a book, you need to do blog posts. There's writing, there's speaking, right? There's the getting in front of rooms, being on Facebook Lives, just getting your message out there. So there's writing, there's speaking, and then there's coaching, and then there's workshopping, right? So coaching is the one-on-one. Many of you do one-on-one coaching. But then there's the workshopping. So speaking is more like a one-way thing. Workshopping is an interactive thing. Writing is people reading you, and then the video or the audio is people hearing you. That's all there is to it. Now, there's a lot to that. We're going to unpack that all at this event. And I promise you, I'm going to give you a plan and a strategy to get that going, both from an inside out perspective. A lot of it is mindset, and then a lot of it turns into the skill set and the strategy to have it go. And I do want to offer this right out of the gate. There's no perfect strategy. There's no right way to do it. I've got a lot of experience. Here I am doing a Facebook Live right now, or a StreamYard Live. There's a lot to share with you on how to do it. But I'll just leave you with this thought. For most of us, the how to do this is the easy part. We just don't take the time to learn it. But we love to blame the I don't know how. But I think that's a big, gigantic excuse for the inner life of, I don't know if I know what to say. I don't want the world to judge this beingness. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. All that inner doubt comes out when you come out. I love that. We're going to talk a lot about that at this event, right? And yet we watch other people do it and we go, oh, why didn't I do that? I could do that, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to unpack that, give you some strategy, give you some inner work, some outer work at this 2-day event, October 10, 11. There's the registration page, PurdueShoeEvent.com. Order before midnight tonight. The famous Ginsu knife ad. I'm showing my age. There's no bonus if you order before midnight tonight. We have a lot of folks already registered. The sooner you register, by the way, here's the deal. We are doing pre-calls that I'm offering all kinds of wisdom and ideas and ideology and strategy before the event. And as soon as you register, you start getting emails when those are. They're random when those calls are, but there are pre-calls happening as we speak to get the ball rolling before the event. And you get to ask all your questions about getting your good work into the world and having it be seen and heard and purchased more. So the sooner you register, the sooner you'll be on that list, and the sooner you'll get emails from us about the pre-calls that I'm doing. I think there's one next week. So do not hesitate to join us. And it's really reasonably priced, this 2-day event, and you'll get on the list and be invited to our next call. So, all right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. That was a weird clap. I don't know why I did that. Have a great rest of your day. Sending peace, ease, love, health, and wealth to you, your family, your business, your colleagues, your friends, your state, your country, and to our globe at all times. And we all have that power to bring that intention to our world. So thanks for listening. Be well, everybody. Take care for now. Bye. And I'm going to undo Instagram first, so you'll see me live for a few seconds in Facebook, which is always a little weird. So here I go. Okay, over there. And then we're going to go to end stream. Here we go. All right, everybody. Bye for now.